I have met many of you in previous sessions by Season Watch. I'm very happy that you've joined again. And of course, you know how this starts. So I would like you all to please put in your names, where you're joining from, and one tree around you that's flowering right now. We'll do a switch this time. Instead of your favorite tree, please put in a tree that is
Is
flowering
one.
around you right now. Hi, Deepa. Thank you. What's in bloom in Bangalore? Hello, Lakshmi. Nice to see you here. Delonix is in bloom. Thanks, Kanak. Pride of India is in bloom. Yeah. Champaka are blooming too. Great. Thank you. Crepe Myrtle and Pride of India are the same trees. You're in Varanasi. That's nice to know, Anjali. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing.
yeah.
Okay, few more people joining in. I will put mine as well. Hello, Bimal. Thank you for joining. It's nice to have you in the meeting. And Geeta is in North Bengal. Oh, nice. Tabarna montana is blooming. Does Tabarna montana tend to fruit in North Bengal as well? It fruits in Assam, where it was the first time I saw it fruit ever in my life. It was quite fascinating. The wild species of this kind, the pinwheel flower or the white tagar as it's called in Marathi, a very religiously important flower because people often use it for puja and the trees often strip bare of flowers every time it blooms. It doesn't flower in rest of mainland, I think, but I've seen it flower, the ornamental variety as well in Northeast. Cassia fistula. Oh, flowers are present. Yeah, that's strange. Cassia is doing some very strange things. Thank you for sharing, Faizi. Prabhakaran sir is also joining. Prabhakaran sir has been, well, I'll praise him once he's in the meeting.
Praise him.
Arvind is joining from Mangalore. What's in bloom in Mangalore? Alstonia is flowering in Coimbatore. Wow, that's really early, no? Typically, it goes around August or so. That's what I remember from Mumbai, at least. Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Those who have newly joined, we're talking about, please put in the chat box your names, where you're joining from, and one tree or multiple that are in bloom right now around you. I say bloom because that's what really catches our eye, but you can also share about fruiting, whatever is prominent and has caught your eye recently. Would be nice. We have a couple more people joining. Nice. I'm very happy to see this group expanding. Hi everyone, people who just joined, please put in your names, where you're joining from, and one tree in bloom or in fruit, with fruits right now around you. My name is Sai. I work as project coordinator with SeasonWatch, and I'm very happy to be hosting this session today with my colleagues Suhrita and Geeta, and with people who developed the app, the MVP of the event, Kannan. And yeah, in very short while, we will share everything about this app and hope to get you as excited about it as we are right now. Thank you, Krishna, for joining. It's nice to see you in the meeting. Prabhakaran sir is finally in the meeting. Prabhakaran sir has been a long-standing season watcher, a star season watcher, and he has inspired a lot of students to observe trees And I think he recently retired. So we're a bit sad, but also happy that you'll be enjoying retired life, Prabhakaran sir. Thank you for joining. Wow. The comment box right now is full of bloom, trees in bloom. Sorry. Lakshmi, yes, the session will be on YouTube. We will share the link as well. And it'll be on our WhatsApp and on our Instagram and Facebook. So please feel free to find that link or reach out to us in case you cannot find it, and I'll share it with you. Thank you for joining, Lena. Tamarind trees have unripe fruits. How yum. They're still in flower in Bangalore. And recently we visited Yelagiri. That's where it was fully in bloom. Like there were more yellow flowers than leaves in those trees. Okay, I think we can move ahead. Thank you, Surta, for sharing the live streaming link on YouTube. If you have anybody that is willing to join but could not register on time or any other issues were faced, please share this link with them. I'm just putting it again in the chat box. All right. I have a little poll for everyone just for me to understand where we are. Okay, this is the poll. You should see it on your screens right now. I'm asking if you use the SeasonWatch Android app before. And if you have, please tap on yes. If you're new to SeasonWatch, please say no. And we will do a little introduction of the project in any case, but it'll be nice to know. Okay, I'll be ending a poll in. Okay, everybody has answered. Great. So 65% of us have already used the Android app, and 35% have not yet, hopefully. Those who have used the app before, would you like to share your experience and how did it feel to be observing trees, something that you've learned, anything? Yes, Sujata, Miss also has used the app. Lakshmi, sorry, the poll has just ended, but there'll be more questions. I hope you will be able to see those. And the question was if you've used the Season Watch app before, so you can just put in your answer in the chat box as well, in case you're not able to see the poll. Okay, anybody for Season Watch app that was that existed before? Yes, thank you, Lakshmi. Noted.
No, I used SeasonWatch during the COVID time because I was
Mm-hmm.
a birder actually, and
Oh.
I'm also interested in the environment of the birds, where it interacts. And ornithophilia is something which is I just love the way they interact. The spark thing was for me red-vented bulbul and lantana camera. So for me, yeah, lantana is something which I hate because it gives me rashes, and then I hate the smell of it. But then when I saw that red-winged bulbul were feasting on its berries, so I got a new look or new way of thinking of things around my environment. And
Mm-hmm.
during the COVID lockdown, I used to bird a lot. And one of my friends was like saying, "Why don't you try season watch if you are so interested into in the? You can also do the birding. I do eBird, and season watch is like a sister app for that, and that will help you also to map which trees the birds are using and which trees the birds are not using. No such stuff. And during COVID time, I was free. There was no much time work and all. So I started season watch, but then I after 1 year or something, I lost my phone and everything I tried to do and everything is gone. But then I learned that the life cycle of I don't know what to say, jamun tree. Okay, I'm not that well versed with scientific jargon, so I'm so sorry. But I love the way the jamun tree next to my home, which actually grew on its own due to the birds,
Wow.
due to the white cheek barbets and what to say, squirrels and white cheek barbets. They try bought in the jamun tree next to our home in a vacant plot. And my brother, without unknowingly, when he used to wash his hands and off and everything, that water let the tree to grow. And the tree grew. Now the tree is big, huge, bigger than my two-story home in Bangalore. Although I live in Chennai, Bangalore is my native. So whenever I go to Bangalore, I use Season Watch because I stay there for 2 months or something during the summer vacation. I use a Season Watch just to see how it is faring. And I came to know that the last 4 years, the fruiting, it's very lush and it's fruiting, but the fruiting duration has changed. And this is something which actually I worry, because by the time it fruits, the unripe fruits are there now, so I can't enjoy the fruits. But because I have to leave to Chennai, because and that's what. But then it also shows how environment is changing, and we are not like watering the plant or something. It has the tree has grown on its own, and there is an open well nearby. So I could realize how the environment is changing, and the rain was also very intermittent and different. It started late in Bangalore, so I could realize how the rain and the onset of monsoon and the existing harsh summer can affect the fruiting of the tree. All this thanks to Season Watch. Although I lost the data in between, I'm trying again. So I hope I can stick. And Prabhakaran sir is a legend, I would say. And
Okay.
it's an honor for us to be the same live stream as him. Thanks for bringing him in. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Lakshmi. That really summarized Season Watch and what we're trying to do really well. Nonetheless, just a little slide for introducing Season Watch and how the observation that Lakshmi mentioned are being done currently. Let me just share my screen with these little bit of slides. So this is an old number. Our website, as you know, is currently unavailable because it's being upgraded, but it'll be live soon from 6th of July, in 2 days. So right now we have 1 million or 10 lakh plus observations, and we're very, very thankful to all of you who have contributed and helped us reach this great number and understanding climate change through trees. So, Season Watch, in essence, is a citizen science program, and we also venture into climate change education with schools and colleges and for everyone who's participating. And the idea is to collect data with help of everyone from across India for many, many years. And these are observations on the leaves, flowers, and fruit stages of 172 kinds of trees, which are very common, found across the country, easy to identify, and also important for our economy and lives. And through these observations, through the patterns that emerge from these observations, we're trying to understand how climate change is impacting the natural environment, not just the environmental parameters, but how the trees and their life cycles, and as a result, animal life cycle also might be impacted because of this global phenomena. So that is the essence. And Season Watch, I am also very proud to say that is one of its kind of project which is functioning across India, trying to understand climate change impact across a whole country. Yeah, so I think we're doing a great job with engaging and contributing to this database. And as you know, most of you know that we have an Android application. We are working on the iOS. We have some facing some hindrances in that, but hopefully it'll soon be on track, and we will soon have an iOS app as well. But for now, we have an Android application and a website where people can log in, register themselves, log in, and input all of their tree observations, which are collected to a common database, which is open for everybody to visualize and also download and work for non-commercial purpose and research. And how this is done is basically by looking at adult trees of the 172 species that I mentioned. And this includes some of these you can see right here, but they're also available as a list on our website and also in the app when you go to make a new observation. So we'll just take a look at that very soon. And we are observing these adult individuals which are already flowering and fruiting, and tracking these observations every week or even once a week. Like Lakshmi mentioned that she's been traveling between two cities. So if you're traveling in a new place and you cannot visit there every week, you can just make one time observations. I'll just quickly introduce both of those. So the weekly observation is called regular observation, and how we do that is once a week, which means 4 observations per month, and 52 roughly observations in a year are made on the same tree. But even if you're able to do 2 observations per month, that's still statistically useful and viable. So please don't feel the pressure. Even if you can make 2 observations, that's still great. Please contribute. Then we have to take some precautions, like we have to observe the tree on the same day of the week and same time of the day, preferably, and have a fixed spot from which you look at the tree, which is safe from the traffic, which is comfortable to stand in for at least a couple of minutes, and keep that spot as your tree watching spot for every observation that we make. Now, registered tree information, this is old. It's going to change now. It can be edited on the app also. That's one of the features that we have in the new app that we'll introduce in a bit. And observations can also be deleted if that is what you prefer, and if you want to change the observation that you've made. Then second way of making observation is casual observation, the one-time observation that I mentioned. Ideally, only one observation is to be made per tree. But of course, you cannot control or know if a tree has already been observed. So it's okay. The backend can take care of that. You can just make your observations wherever you feel like. And the tree observations cannot be edited, but they can be deleted on the app itself. I'll show you that as well today. So coming to what we are observing on the tree, these are the stages, and this is the method of observation. So these are the stages that have been identified, because these are the stages that occur in the life cycle of a tree in a nice pattern, in a cyclical manner. So we have fresh leaves, new leaves that appear on the tree in its preferred season. Then we have mature leaves that that are office goers, that are fully matured and functional. And then we have the retired leaves, which are turning yellow or brown and who will fall off the tree very soon. Then we have buds and open flowers in the flower stages. And in fruit stages, we have unripe fruit, ripe fruit, and open fruit. So unripe fruit and ripe fruit is something that's seen in plants like mango, for example. But we talked about the pride of India, or crepe myrtle, and that also has a stage where the woody fruit splits open, and that is the open stage that can be monitored. So based on the species that we select, these stages will be displayed on the screen to make an observation on. And how do we make an observation is in terms of none, few, and many, which also appear on the screen when you're making a tree observation, and you just have to tap on whatever applies. And how do we decide none or few or many for each of these stage? Is by dividing the tree canopy into 3 parts from the center, like this Mercedes logo or like a Y. And then we see in how many of these 3 parts are each of the stages present, starting from fresh leaves and ending on ripe fruit or open fruit, whichever applies. So let's say I'm making an observation on fresh leaves. Now, if the tree I'm observing has no fresh leaves right now, then I choose the observation for fresh leaves as none. But if I see fresh leaves in any one of the 3 parts, like either here or here or here, then my observation is few. So any one part, observation is few, or any two or all 3 parts has fresh leaves, then the observation is many. So like that, we make observation for none, few, and many. Just to show you an example, here's the crepe myrtle, or the pride of India, or jarul, that I have taken as an example, that we're going to season watch right now. And this is a phenophase guide which has photos of all the stages of leaves, flowers, and fruits. This also has been upgraded and integrated in the app. So I'll showcase that as well, how you can use these photos as reference when you're making a tree observation. So now I start by dividing my tree in 3 parts, and I'm making an observation on the leaves, flowers, and fruits. And what that looks like is I see in how many of the 3 parts there are new leaves. I see new leaves here and nowhere else in the tree. Then I put my observation as few. Or I see, then I go to mature leaves and I see that mature leaves are in all 3 parts of the canopy. I put my observation as many, and I don't see dying leaves on the tree, even though there are some fallen on the ground. But since there are none on the tree, I put my observation as none. Same goes for flowers. I see buds at the tips of these bunches in all three parts, or typically two parts actually in this picture. So I put my observation as many. And flowers are in all three parts, so I put my observation as many. For fruits, I see unripe fruit only here and nowhere else. So that makes my observation few. Then I see that there are no ripe fruits on the tree right now. So I put my observation as none. And no open fruits also. So the observation for that is none. So you see that we've made an observation for each stage, even if it is not seen on the tree. That not seen is also data point. It's an important observation. So we're making a note of that too. Yeah, we do have the option don't know, but if that comes, then the data becomes sort of unviable. So it's best not to choose that. Yeah. And these are also old screenshots of the app, but I'll show you the new app very soon. And this is what the end result look like. Once you submit the date observation, which can also have any plant animal interactions, like Lakshmi mentioned that she saw birds on trees. So you can tick on bird and maybe in the notes you can write what birds you saw, what were they doing, or if some heartbreaking observations were made, like the canopy was chopped off, that I have had to made a couple of times, actually more than a couple of times, then you can make that in the notes as well. And when you tap save, the data gets saved and uploaded to the database. And this is what it looks like. The species, the name of the tree that I have given to it, and the date of observation, location of the tree, and the status of leaves, flowers, and fruits on this date of observation. So this is what Season Watch basically does. And now, the thing that we've gathered for, let me show you how the app works. And I will share my screen again. So, Surita or Geeta, does anybody want to add anything about season watch or observing data or anything? Geeta, are you there?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Sorry, I'm having very bad network issues. Nothing to add though. Thanks.
All right, sure. Okay, I just wanted to give you a little break from my voice. That's why I requested this. But sure, I think we could just go ahead with sharing my screen. Right. I hope you can see the Season Watch app on my phone.
Yes.
Can you give me a thumbs up if you are?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Anjali.
You
Any
can see
thumbs
it.
up? Is everybody seeing it?
Yeah,
Okay, sure. All right, so first step is to go to the screen. If you are new to Season Watch, like some of us are, we go to register and we put in a username, which is a name that we want for ourselves to be displayed with our data. Then we can put a password of our choice, which you will have to remember. Or if you want to reset it, you will get it on the email address that you upload. Yeah. Then you select the state. We, of course, have every state from India, and it's our mission and dream to have every state contribute, as well as Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry and Maharashtra is catching up, and Tamil Nadu. Did I mention Tamil Nadu? Yes, it's catching up. So please, if you're from any of these other states or any of these states as well, just make observations and let's have those dots of tree observations across India. Then you can register as an individual or an organization. Both are under the same heading for now. If you are a school like Anjali is, you can select school. If you are a Matrubhumi Seed School in Kerala alone, then you can select that option as well. Or if you are participating from a college, you'll be looking at college trees, college campus trees, or university campus trees, then you can select college. Then we have this data policy, privacy policy, which you can take a look at on this page. So the website is down right now, so you cannot read it, but it basically asks if you're comfortable with sharing your name and data for this international representation of India and tree phenology and climate change. If you're okay with that, you can accept. If not, you can reject, and your data will be excluded from the the observations that go to the global platform like GBIF or Global Biodiversity Information Facility, on which SeasonWatch is the second largest database in India. First largest, of course, eBird. So once all of that is done, you can tap on register and your account is made. I already have an account, so I'm going to just go and log in, and you're going to see my email ID now, but please ignore that. And my password, then I log in and I see my dashboard. Dashboard is basically where all of your observations will be visible. And here you can see that there are two sections. One is regular and one is casual. In regular, all of the trees that I have been observed every week for a long time. Let me just show you. This Riksha Badam is an Indian almond tree in Pune, where I used to stay before. And these are all the observations that I've made. It's brilliant that you can see all of these observations and have the option to edit or delete it on the app itself now. That is one of the new features, like I mentioned. And these are all the observations I've made. Let me show you how to put a tree on this page. So if you have a regular tree that you want to observe, this could be a tree near your house or near your office, near your workplace, near a garden or inside a garden near your house. Anywhere you can go every week, that can be your regular tree. So how do we do that is you tap on this plus, and the first option that we have, which is another new great feature in the app, is to add photos, and these photos will help us identify and verify the name of the
Maybe
tree.
1 minute.
Yeah,
1 minute, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused. Can we use any tree? Like, I'm sorry, I also use INATs. I'm used to cultivated and not cultivated stuff now. So wild
yeah,
and cultivated, I get confused. So we can use even the trees which are in our courtyard, like that we like grow, or should be only those which are on the roadside or wild one or whatever. We can
right.
use any tree for regular.
Yeah, yeah. Understood, understood. So it can be growing anywhere. It can be a cultivated tree as well, but it has to be in the 172 tree species that Season Watch has. That's the only criteria. Let me show you how. So we have that list that is already fed into this app that you can see later. But here is a tree that I want to monitor, and I've put a photo of that. And I've said that these are flowers, and please identify my species by tapping on this blue arrow, and it analyzes the photo and it tells me that uploaded image does not match our database. Image is not clear, which is not right. Let me do it again. So it basically is supposed to identify the species. You may have to do it a couple of times. Maybe the app is nervous too. We literally tried this before the session started. Okay, species not found. It basically should tell you that the species is not on our list. So you can replace the photo with some other tree which might be on our list. You can take a look at the list before. And let me just give you, like, the website is down, but some trees on our list are mango, jackfruit, tamarind, the Tabernae montana, or the pinwheel tree that Geeta mentioned. Then we have exotic ornamental trees as well, like we have tabubia, we have gulmohar, we have um, any other trees, Geeta and Surta, you can think of, please drop them in the chat box. But we have 172 different kinds of trees, and the app will tell you whether the species, the photo that you uploaded, based on that, whether it is present on a list or not. Okay, so let me just move to a species that the app will definitely know. Okay, here are two photos that I'm uploading. These are only leaves, which is a little tricky to identify, but let's see if the app can do it. Now, this photo has bark that is prominently seen, so I'm selecting bark as the category of photo that I'm uploading. And this one has leaves, so I'm going to tap on leaves. And then I'm going to ask it to analyze or identify the tree. It's telling me that it's an Indian rosewood tree. Now, if you agree or if you want to go ahead with the suggestion, you tap on confirm. If not, you can say none of the above and add your own observations. So if I say none of the above and confirm, then it shows me the tree species list, the whole list. So here is the Some Himalayan species we have, like the first four are Himalayan species. Then we have wood apple, which is a commercially important species. Then we have another Himalayan species, which is Indian horse chestnut. So like that, you can see all of the species list. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to let it identify the photo and agree with it being an Indian rosewood. So once I have that, we are to upload the location of the tree, and which is needed because the weather data or weather pattern that we associate with the data later on, that is very, very dependent on the location. So if I tap on find me, it gives me my current location and taps on and puts a pin there, which is the current location of the tree. Then I tap, but of course you can put it anywhere else. Like this is in an apartment, so I'm going to tell it that it is actually here. So you just double tap and it shows you the new location of the tree that you're looking at. The map zoom has to be more than 15. Then you tap on next and your location and the species is registered. I'm going to give it a nickname. I'm going to call it Sisu, and I'm going to say it's by the roadside. It can be any location type of the four options here. I'm going to say that it is pruned regularly or anything. Pruned as in the branches are chopped off because it's very close to a light pole and electricity wire. Then I'm going to put the height as 8 meters. You can put it approximately. And my favorite method for doing this is typically trees are close to buildings, and I try to see how many, what is the height of the tree, as in what story of the building it reaches. And based on that, I calculate in feet and convert that into meters. So that's one way to do it. But you can if it's not close to a building, you can just imagine like how many of you and your height would need to stand on one top of another to reach the height of the tree, and that gives you height in feet. And yeah, then that's how you can approximately calculate the height. But height and girth are both essential because they are going to ensure that the tree is old enough and big enough to be flowering and fruiting. So this is essential information. Please make sure to enter that. I am going to say it's damaged a little bit because of all the pruning, and I do not know the nearest water source at the moment, but that's okay. So then you tap on the blue button and then you move ahead, and I can also set a profile picture. This is a default photo, the one that's selected right now. But you can also select a photo from the one that you have uploaded. It can be either of the two, or it can be the same one that by default the app has. Then once you tap on submit, your tree has been successfully added for regular observation. So I'm going to go to my Sisu tree, and the date of observation is default today's date. But if you have made an observation a week ago or last week, a week ago or yesterday or any other date, you can tap on that and change the date to a back date as well. And then we will put the observations as usual, like I showcased earlier. So for leaves, I put it currently has many new leaves, many mature leaves, no dying leaves because it's so windy in Bangalore, everything has flown off. For the flowers, I say that it doesn't have any flowers right now, but it has a lot of ripe fruit and a few unripe fruit and a few ripe fruits. And I see any of the animals on it, or I have no notes. I can also add an observation photo from the gallery or from the camera, or take a new photo right now, but that's optional. You don't have to do it at the moment. And then you save observation. So this observation is collectively saved, and this is my first observation. So I see when I tap on the tree, the information about the tree, and also the latest observation that I've made, all the observations that I've made basically. So if I feel that there's something wrong, I want to change the location, for example, then I'm going to tap on edit, and I'm going to put the observation somewhere far away or any other place, for example. And I'm going to say that this is where my tree is. So that's the new location. And then if I want to change that it's not damaged or the height is actually 10 meters and not 8 meters. So I save changes. Oh, about the girth. So you can use a measuring tape. So like a sophisticated method is to do that. But I also like to like if I don't have any tools with me, then I just use my finger this distance, which is called a veet in Marathi. I've again forgotten what it's called in English. But you just go around the tree measuring like this. And this is about 15 centimeters. So I multiply with the amount of rounds I had to do, and that is the girth of the tree for me, and it's supposed to be in centimeters, so no need of any conversion. And okay, so then the tree is edited, its location is edited, and I can also edit the observation. Like I thought that I later saw that there are some old leaves also on the tree, or there are some open flowers also. And I also see caterpillars eating the leaves, for example. Then I tap on save and the observation is edited. But if I want to just delete the observation entirely, I don't want to make an observation this week, or it's a wrong observation, or the tree, anything that requires you to delete the observation, you can just tap on this bin and it gets deleted. Yeah. That's it. The observation is deleted. So this is all you can do with regular observation. And now let me show you the casual observation. So you swipe left and you switch to the casual tab, which is to make one-time observation. And it's loading to show all the observations that I've made so far, which is over 3,000. Then I'm going to tap on this plus button to make a new observation. Now, currently I cannot show my camera to take a photo, but it asks you to give permission and it opens the camera. You can take a photo and just upload that. But you can also just go to the gallery like I've done so far and select a photo. Wait, I'll take this tree for which the pheno phase is, I know. I'm going to put the photo of the flower. I'm going to tell it it's a flower photo and ask it to identify it. And it has found it to be the cannonball tree, which I agree with. So I confirm. Then I'm going to put the location. Of course, for this location, you require your mobile location service to be on, and you also require an internet connection. But you can also make offline observations. I cannot showcase that right now because my phone is my Wi-Fi. But you can make up to 5 observations offline. Is that right, Geeta and Surita?
20 observations of me.
Oh, great. So we can make 20 observations in a day. And when you come back to network, it gets updated. Okay, so I'm going to find me and put a pin on my current location. I'm going to say that the tree is here and then tap on next. Then I'm going to say that it has many new leaves. So you basically divide the tree in 3 parts and see how many of the 3 parts has the canopy. It's a little tricky with cannonball. So I like to do the 3 sections in the canopy as well as 3 sections on the bark, on the trunk where the flowers and fruits come. So that is one way to do it, but you can imagine the whole tree as a circle also and then do that. The flowers and fruits will definitely fall in 2 sections, which means it can be many if it is found in both of those sections. Yeah. So you can choose either of these methods. I should have changed the time of lock screen. Anyway, so it has many buds, many open flowers, and no fruits at the moment. And I see a lot of bees on it. And then, one more
Sorry,
feature
do you
that I
also
wanted
want to? Sorry.
Yeah, I also want to show you the phenophase guide. For example, I don't know what the fruits look like. I can tap on this button and wait for it to load. And this is what the unripe fruits look like. So unripe fruits in cannonball is not very easy to distinguish from the ripe fruits. They're basically called immature fruits and mature fruits. But it's okay even if you get a bit confused with that. It doesn't matter. And these are so basically unripe fruits are much smaller. So from the stage where the flower is developing into a fruit to maybe this size, the wood apple size, it can be an unripe fruit. And then when it's big and you can see that it has become a nice woody brown color, then it can be a ripe fruit. Okay. So you can do the same for birds. And this is what the birds look like. It's a small I button here in case it's not very clear in the screen. So in front of open flowers, we have this little I, and that's present in every stage. So that little I shows you what the leaves and the flower and the fruit stages look like. And yeah, so some of these images are not available, which means we did not find them anywhere, and that's typically the old leaves. So if you happen to have photos which match the format, like it's a nice photo of the old leaves on the tree that you can share with us, please email us and we will incorporate that photo into the database. But this is basically how the observation is to be made for casual observation. You would have noticed that we do not have to give a nickname to the tree. We do not have to use the height and girth, but we of course have to show the observation for flowers and fruits. And yeah, so we're not registering the tree, but we're making an observation directly on the leaf, flower, fruit stages. Then I want to add notes that this is the first year the tree has bloomed, for example. Yeah, and then I tap on save, and it will take you to the dashboard again after saving the observation on the database. It's just loading, give it a minute. Yeah, so you see that the new observation has been made here and it appears on the dashboard. And if you want to delete it, you can just tap on this dustbin. It'll ask you if you're sure, and then you can say yes or no, depending on what you want to do with the data. And that's it. Is this clear? Any questions? We're open to questions right now. And I'm going to pause.
Lakshmi had some questions saying.
Yes, Lakshmi, please go ahead.
Sorry for being a trouble, but I just
No, no.
had three questions.
Okay.
One is why it's limited to only 172 species? Is there any thing important? Why only 172 species of trees have been used, or are they gonna add more in the future? First question. Second question: what's the point of casual observation when you are not gonna catch up with it in the next coming weeks, and you are just one time observation? What's the use of it? How exactly it is useful in the data crunching and data analyzing thing? Second, and the third and the last question is: if we miss a week, like we tend to miss because we forget, or we are not well, or we are not in the in station, we are gone outside or traveling. So if we miss a week or a week or two or something, so how does that help? And I mean, how does we can make it up, and how what to do with it? Because that happens to me a lot. Once I start doing something regularly, something or the other comes, the life throws a spanner at it, and I lose the track. So just wanted to know how to make up, because for me data is everything. I love data crunching. I love to see data analysis and everything, how it looks. Visualization of data. I love it. But all the same, I'm guilty also of that. I don't have consecutive regular data because of, as I say, life throwing spanner. So how to do that? I mean, how to go about roundabout for that work? Humans are known to find a roundabout for everything. So if we miss one or two options, so 1 or 2 weeks of observation, how to make it up?
Yeah.
So these are the three questions I have.
Got it. Thank you for these questions. They're very essential, and maybe others also had these to ask. Geeta, do you want to take these questions? Maybe a couple or all of them?
Yes,
And
yes.
add to that, if somebody staying abroad goes away for 2-3 months, what happens? If we record, is it corrupting the data? If it's not corrupting, I don't mind. But if it's corrupting, then I don't want to attempt. That also you can answer, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Sagi.
Sure. I can answer all of those questions. So starting with why only 172 species, it's because we have to commit to observing some species, right? And it's very likely that you are more easily going to recognize a common widespread species that's found everywhere. So limiting our list to common widespread species ensures that we have a number of trees always getting observed, and that is representative of that species phenology in that particular habitat. So, for example, things like mango, neem, jackfruit, these are easily recognized species. Mango and tamarind, neem, these are all very widespread species that you are likely to find pretty much everywhere in the country, barring certain areas. So, the selection of species is that they are common, widespread, easy to recognize. Very importantly, they show seasonal behavior, which means that there is a season associated with when they put out new leaves, flowers, and fruits. And this widespread representation allows us to understand how the environment in different parts of the country is affecting the seasonal behavior of trees. Now, if we select rare plants, it is difficult to come to those kinds of generalizations. It'll tell us what is happening in that one specific location, but not what is happening generally across a gradient of the environment. So all these 172 species are likely to be widespread either across India, or they are likely to be widespread in specific areas. So for example, we have a bunch of Himalayan species, which are likely to find more commonly along the Himalayan belt and not anywhere else in India. But that is just how it is. That's just, I mean, there is no way to find any other species in the Himalayas other than the Himalayan species. So it is either locally abundant or widespread across the country. We don't add new species or unless people are willing to, locally observe 30 up to 30 trees. Yeah. So at least we get a good representation of what is happening locally to that tree. So if you can't observe yourself 30 trees, or convince your friends to observe 30 trees of that species, we will not be able to add it. So or if you have a firm, you can convince us that it's so common that everyone can find it and we should be observing it, then we'll take like a special case based on that argument. The second thing is, why casual observations? Casual observations provide us with snapshots of what is happening to the seasonality of trees across the country at some point of time. So we have these really fun events called tree festivals, where many people go out, lots and lots of people go out and do lots and lots of casual observations in a span of 10 to 15 days. And this, gives us a nice snapshot of what the same species are doing across the country in those 10 to 15 days. It is still very valuable if we have this thing repeating across years. So for example, in March this year, we found that 80% of flame of the forest trees that were observed in SeasonWatch were flowering. But in 2025, only 78% were flowering. And in 2024, 70% were flowering. So when we compare across years, even casual observations can tell us something interesting about how flowering patterns are changing. Flowering and fruiting patterns are changing for the same species. So it's sort of like a lot of bulk data over a very short period of time, telling us something about the phenology of the tree species. So that's the second question. And third question is, yes, gaps are unfortunately expected. This is a completely voluntary activity. Everyone cannot be present in the same place throughout the year. There are lots and lots of things that come in the way of doing that. If it's possible for you to do 52 observations in a year, nothing like it. But we think that some kind of consistency through the year is better than no observations at all. So even if you miss a few weeks here and there, if you miss, series of observations over a few months, that is still okay if you can come back and make observations again on that same tree. And this is doable because there is a population of trees we are monitoring. If you've missed a few weeks, somebody else has monitored their tree and maybe they have covered those missing weeks, right? So when we all do this data collection as a community, we are able to fill in these gaps that individual people are leaving in their data.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you for the patiently answering my questions. I got a clear idea of it. And only one last question which I wanted to ask previously, but I forgot. Will Season Watch deal with endemics and the one which are like how to say, those which are like prosopis and all, like I forgot the word for it.
Invasive
Invasive,
species.
yeah, invasive. Season
Yeah.
Watch, are they gonna deal with invasive and endemic species differently, or is there any plans in the future for that? Or any even invasives are also counted, like.
So we have two invasive species on our list right now. We have Lantana camera and we have Neltuma juliflora, which was earlier called Prosopis juliflora. Both these species are getting monitored across India. What we might do with this kind of information in the future is, when other native species are not flowering and fruiting, are these species flowering and fruiting? And
Yeah,
that gives them an
I meant not
advantage.
exactly invasive. I meant not exactly invasive, but even the foreign introduced ones, most of the roadside trees, which we see avenue trees, are all usually not local ones. They are like brought from abroad or something, right? So I just wanted to know, even the those data are important for the phenology study. Even the foreign
Yes.
species are important.
Yeah, because even if they're foreign species, there are two things to this particular aspect. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't have access to native species. Now, if you are a person living near, an avenue, you have access to only avenue trees, right? That is one thing that everyone may not have access to native tree species. It's a sad thing, but it's a real thing, especially in cities. What to do? There is nothing else to observe. There is only a gulmohar or a copper pod or a West Indian ebony growing outside your house, and that's the only thing you can observe. Then it's okay to make observations. Secondly, they are seasonal also. They are also putting out flower, fruit only in specific seasons. And they're still able to tell us something about how tree seasonality is changing with the environment. So because of these two things, we have included several exotic avenue trees in our list, including the cannonball tree that Sai just demonstrated. That's also an exotic. So there is a lot of valuable information to be got about tree seasonality from avenue trees or exotic trees. So that is why they are there on the list.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I just want to share something. The
Yes, go
March
ahead.
April festival, actually, I recorded more than 100 casual observations. I have a roundabout way. I used it basically to see that all my observations across my NGV where I stay, we have 30, 40 species out of the 172. And Kabban Park and Lal Bagh, wherever I go, since they are this thing. So I wanted to create a record for myself. Yes, all these I've observed and they're available for me to observe in case across the season, because I did it a casual observation for that purpose, so I indirectly used for it. And to start with, only one tree I'm observing regularly. Maybe I'll add a few more. I was particular because if a few weeks I miss and it's a data corruption, I didn't want to take up. Otherwise, I can take up at least maybe a 30, 40 species or trees in NGV itself. That's one thing just want to share for others' information. The second thing is the native, invasive and naturalized. There are three varieties, I think. Naturalized are also generally fine. Native is another part. That's other thing. And since you are 172, you are only limited to 172. Sometimes I want to record everything that I'm observing. So I go to iNaturalist and record it there. So can Season Watch include under casual observation more varieties, not limit it? Whereas for regular observation, they could limit it to the 172 or whatever. This is another consideration. And also so that Season Watch itself, I can go and see whether information like, is it a naturalized thing? Is it a native? Is it this thing? That information also somewhere you can
Yeah,
provide, no?
yeah, I meant that only because many people might not know
Yeah, so
which.
it will be useful, and an app can provide, this can be a go-to app for many things other than going to iNaturalist for certain things. Yeah. So thanks all. I'll be leaving for another thing. Yeah, we'll get back together. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagi. I hope that Gita's response eased your worry about corrupting the data. So you can please start observing more regularities as well. It's okay if you miss a few weeks, no problem. Because I've also abandoned my trees in Pune now and moved to Bangalore. But that data that I collected till the 4 years I was there, it's still valuable and useful. So any amount of data in any way that is gathered, it'll be mitigated by other observations, and you can please continue to engage in the best of your ability and capacity. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Geeta and Surta, there's one more question by Gaurav and Kadan also, if you'd like to take this. Gaurav says that he tried the app today and with curry leaf and fruit pictures, and it identified perfectly. That's great, thank you. Does the app let us add a new tree without adding a photo like the older versions? Anyone of you can please take that question.
Yeah, I can take that. I think this
Yes.
was the first requirement that, when we started discussing the app implementation, the
Yeah.
primary requirement from Geeta and Suhail was that, we don't want people to be adding trees without images, primarily because, it gives you, it validates, confirms that, you're observing the right tree. It's quite possible that you're kind of adding a tree, with a little, with whatever little knowledge that you have, that hey, I'm observing tree A while you are constantly observing tree B, which is essentially a corruption, like Krishna Prasad was talking about, right? You kind of are getting the wrong data about one particular tree, right? So that is the reason why they wanted to do this. And yeah, and there is no way to add that. In fact, that's the reason we are making it as a image first approach, right? So the moment you want to add a tree, the first thing you have to do is add a few images. So that is the biggest new, completely different way of, having to, add your trees. In fact, we didn't want people to be, adding all the information, and then at the end of it, we have a small thing about adding an image, and then you say, no, this is doesn't seem to be the right tree, or you may not even be there around the tree to add the images, or maybe you are doing it late in the evening and you can't get good images. So it's completely an image first approach, right? So yeah, I think that is what we wanted to do. The short answer is you can't do, but I wanted to give a long answer.
Thank you, Kanan. That is very helpful. And Gaurav, we have, okay, great. Thank you for agreeing. I know we have some Season Watch users who are not very, they love that Season Watch did not have a photo, um, requirement, but this is very essential for maintaining the data quality and making it easier for all of us to engage, irrespective of how well we know our trees. And that's also why we wanted to put this feature to make it available, like Kanan said, for everybody in any level of interest and knowledge about the trees around them, and also with the method of learning the right kind of information about the trees around us. Thank you. Lakshmi has one more question. Will be a tag option for native, exotic, naturalized? Lakshmi, it's not mentioned in the app, or it doesn't tell you when you observe or upload the data, but our website has this information. And we can actually think about tagging them or having some kind of indication about their nature, whether they're native, exotic, or naturalized. We'll take that as a suggestion. Thank you so much. Okay, I have one more small, if there are no more questions, I have one more small poll. Anyone, any questions or any comments? Okay, then I have this quiz. Not a quiz, but I'm just used to quizzes so much. But this is a poll. I would like to know from you if you think that the new app will make it easier to observe trees, because it has a photo feature and it tells you what tree you're looking at. And also, it will show you photos of what each stage of the leaves, flowers, fruits look like. So please let me know what you think. All right. We have more and more people joining. Let's give it a couple minutes, seconds actually. Okay, most of you think that This will make it easier to observe trees. We're very happy to know that. And people who would like more help, please feel free to reach out anytime. In the end, I'll display our contact information, and of course, you can find it on our website as well once it's live. But we are called Season Watch on any platform like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, so you can just look it up and message us. And most of you are also in our WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to join a state-wise WhatsApp group that you live in or work in, you can please drop me a message and I can make that happen for you. Thank you so much. I hope this demonstration was useful, and I hope that this will make things much easier and fun for the upcoming August Tree Festival. Just soft launching it right now. It's happening in the end of August. I will, of course, come up with posters, fun events, and advertising them and tree walks very, very soon. And I think this is all we had to share today. Is there anything else that we would like to add, Surita, Kanan, Geeta?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to, give a request to all the people who have joined here. In fact,
Yes.
so one of my team members has joined. Two others are busy on a Saturday evening. About 40 of you have, joined on a Saturday evening. Thank you very much for that. Now, having, joined, just that the app has been tested in a small group of people. We just tested internally within our own team, and then we have a small beta release done to a smaller group. So this is the first time this is being done in a very extensive, with a large number of users using it. Already we have seen one defect, which was, related to, on particular next pattern by not being seen. We are actively working on fixing that. And if you find anything which is making it difficult to use, or, would be better to have kind of a thing, please feel free to reach out to us, and then, indicate to us as to, what would you like to get fixed, or what would you like to get added. That be very useful to help us, make the app more usable. Thank you.
Thank you, Kanan. Anything from you, Surita? Nizar? Nizar is
Sai,
our.
will you be sharing the recording of this?
Yes, I will put it in the groups, and this is on YouTube right now, so it'll be very quick to share it. And we
Oh,
also have a nice tutorial video about how to use the app, so I will be sharing that as well. Thank you for checking. Uh, yes, okay, so one last poll before we leave, because I would really like to know this. Yeah, will you be contributing to Season Watch now? The app is better, much smoother to use, quicker, tells you what tree you're looking at, tells you more information about the tree, shows you nice photos, and is more accessible for everyone. You don't have to know our trees in the beginning, in the get-go itself. So I hope that this gets us a good response. And like I said, the more data, or like Geeta also illustrated, that the more data we get from across India, the better our understanding of how trees are changing and what weather and environmental parameters are affecting these change. Like what aspect of climate change is really going to be most threatening or life altering for the trees around us. So please upload as many observations as you can and engage as much as you can. Tell your friends and family and people who love trees about the project. And I really hope to see all of your observations on various trees that are around you. And thank you so much for taking the poll. Before we end, I will just quickly show the contact us page for all of your reference. You can take a quick photo, or like I said, you can just reach out to me by looking up Season Watch in on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. And these are all our contact details. And I handle the outreach for all of these platforms for the project. So you'll be reaching out to me directly, and I'll be very happy to help you with any queries that you may have about the app, about any of the events that we're doing, any of the trees that you're looking at. And if you'd like to join a forum, a WhatsApp group of people across your state who love trees and would like to talk about trees, please reach out. And I hope you've taken the screenshot for this. I will be writing you an email with some resources that would be useful with the links to recording and the tutorial video as well.